everyone, and welcome to episode 225 of the Xbox Hall of Games podcast. I'm Matt, as always, and joining me this week is Keo.
Hey, everyone.
And Cameron.
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. I had a look at the last time I think you were on was the end of June. So it's nearly been 2 months.
Well, okay.
Yeah, just by chance I just saw the last date on there. As always, we do the show live on Twitch. Xbox Hall of Gamers is the place to find us. Come up, hang out in the chat. Usual business. You know how it all works. Yeah, how you guys been? What have your weeks been like?
Who wants to go first?
Cameron, you go first because you haven't been on for a while.
Okay, go first.
I've just been pretty much just doing my new job. Really enjoying it. Doing a hybrid of sales administration, CRM stuff, and some marketing.
Great. Love it.
So pretty much my two talents, I would say, and I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, that's
it's local too, which is crazy.
That is surprising. Yeah.
To get a marketing job in a small town of like 4,000 people.
Getting a marketing job that even knows what a CRM is these days, sometimes it's not always a given. And if you don't know what we're talking about, I keep thinking about doing some sort of ridiculous, terrible business podcast for the Patreon or something.
Should talk about CRM and HubSpot.
We should we talk about the latest marketing tech news, like we know what we're talking about. Actually, I think that sounds like a great idea.
Please tell me what CRM is.
Customer relationship management, and that's all I'll say for now. Keo, how have you been? I heard you've been having some car troubles.
No, it's still going on. It's nearly done. So it's been in the shop for 2 weeks, but let's just say the guy's pretty casual about how he contacts people, and we just kind of it's been okay, but it's just I think it might just be the one guy, honestly. So doing all the work. So, but I've got a transmission issue, and it's costing a pretty penny because it's not a new car and old parts are hard to find. So, but so that'll be fixed by Monday, actually.
Oh,
so
okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, transmission issue is always a fucking nightmare. Thanks for asking how my week was, guys. I really appreciate that. All right, moving on.
How was your last 2 months?
Last couple months have been very, very, very busy. My former boss resigned, and so work has been pretty huge. We had our big website launch at the beginning of July, and so we've been kind of full steam ahead on new branding and all that kind of stuff, and it's keeping me very, very busy. But it's good. It's good. We're making really good progress.
You had a new website design too, hey?
Yeah. Well,
We did a new one at the end of June, and now we're getting inquiries from Germany and the US and all that for heavy machinery buckets. So
interesting. Okay. Yep.
From the other side of the world, and pretty much every deal, the freight kills it.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, that the nice thing is that we don't have to send anything; they just have to give us money. So that's always helpful about my job. I really should plug my job on this show more often. Get more donors. No, it's fine. They don't pay me enough for that. Actually,
I'll plug my business. I'm selling clothes now.
Yes, Cameron is selling clothes. I saw you bought it was a good looking shirt, but then when I saw the price, I was like, "Ooh, that's was that 140?
140. It was the very last one. In the only size I had left was my size, and I was trying to find the Wear the Wild Things shirt, a really nice one.
Yeah.
The closest I could find was a Japanese designer that was selling a used one for $500.
Okay, so to be fair, when you put it all in context, pretty good deal.
Yeah. And what's the shirt you're wearing at the moment? You want to do a little show for the live viewers?
Did I tell you about this one?
I don't believe so.
So
you didn't tell the podcast?
Okay, there's a brand in Australia called Mambo. Very popular surfwear kind of brand. And in the 90s, they produced a bunch of shirts called Mambo Louds. And I've now pretty much whenever I find one that like suits my complexion, like I usually buy stuff that is blue, black, green, and brown. I will pick it up.
Yeah, so it's all the poo shooter ones then, yeah? Suits your complexion.
Yeah, the poo shooter brand. That's exactly it. I picked this nice one up. I'm not sure. Where is it? There's one guy mooning on this somewhere. I don't know.
Of course there is. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway. Very popular brand of the 90s, but these shirts retail secondhand for about 250 plus. And I managed to get this one for 115, so I was pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, as long as you're buying quality, that's the main thing.
The only reason I'm buying these now is because everything in terms of clothes, whatever profit I make, I use that money to pretty much buy something nice for the wardrobe.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I guess, and you're not supporting fast fashion, so that's always good.
Well, that's why I got into it in the first place. Everything's polyester these days.
Yeah. All right. Well, sorry, what were we going to say, Kia?
No. I was just going to ask what he buys the wife.
Is she selling any shirts? I don't. What? I mean, she got a side hustle. What is she doing?
Nikita's got a very nice wardrobe at the moment. I've gotten to the point where I'm finding old 2000s stuff for Percy. But I pretty much started since the wedding flipping stuff, and I've got nearly pretty much closer to 3.5K to take over to Japan just for thrifting.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. We'll get you to do a fashion show when you get back. And if you don't know what we're talking about, make sure you join us on the Discord. That's where all the fun stuff in our community happens. I would read the link out, but it's a bunch of Discord / a bunch of numbers and letters. It's not a nice vanity URL, unfortunately, but check it out. We post it in the chat and stuff. So join the Discord. That's the place to find us. Come say hi, and see Cameron's wonderful shirts. And we also do some video game stuff on there as well. Speaking of which. We got a couple of questions, 3 questions this week, actually. First one here is from Red Ninja Dan, who I've just recently gave the question asker extraordinaire role to, because he's been doing a great job. He says, the last 3 games, I guess he said the last 3 games you've played, blend, crossover into one game. What abomination of a game have you made? So if I look at my list... So the last 3 things I played were Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, and Beast of Reincarnation. So it's an open world Yakuza style game where you have a pet dog, and it's actually like it's post-apocalypse Yakuza, and everyone is swearing all the time and making dick jokes. Actually, that sounds like a great game. I might pitch that to IGG actually as their next thing, because they're doing the whole like go back in time. Why don't we go forward in time? I mean, they already did a zombie game, right? So why not?
Sure.
Oh, I can't wait for their new game to come out.
Yeah, Stranger Than Heaven. Stranger Than Heaven. Yeah, it looks.
I love that song.
Looks really good.
They've used in trailer. My last 3 games are Final Fantasy VII Remake, Halo Campaign Evolved, and Ruiner. So you're going to have a very weird isometric kind of melee. I guess not too different from the what do you call them? The Halo. What are those two?
The Spartan Assault.
Yeah, Spartan Assault.
Yeah, like a twin stick Spartan Assault, and you're taking down a big corporate. Yeah, it's basically just a cyberpunk game, really, because it's like Shinra, and I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it'll be an RPG.
Yeah, absolutely. Plays class.
Well, I had Space Marine 2, Clover Pit, and Forza Horizon 6. So I would say that is a 2D Warhammer kart racer.
Hell yeah, that you can bet on.
Yeah, that has RNG.
Huge gambling on it. Yeah, that's actually, you know what? These all sound like great, but we should get Devolver on the horn. This is the kind of shit they would make.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't that basically the Mario Kart mobile game anyway?
Yeah, that's real money microtransactions and shit. Yeah. So yeah, Dan, hopefully that answers your question. I mean, we're this is game jam territory right here. We're coming up with new innovative ideas.
Yeah.
Our other wonderful question asker, Logic Dad, is coming, Isaac, and he says, "Hey guys, it appears that Xbox has added the feature to restore previous cloud saves in Forza Horizon 6. This feature can make cloud save scumming so much easier for some games. Obviously, we'd like it added to all games, but which games do you think they should add this feature to next? Thank you for the show." No, you're welcome, Isaac. I mean, anything with a branching path, right? Like, I know that our monthly theme is the games you need to play more than once, but fuck me, have I had to do some real shifty shit in terms of, like, you know, going offline and deleting saves and, you know, getting rid of local saves and pulling back to cloud stuff to get achievement progress on some stuff. Yeah, having the ability to roll back cloud saves. Basically, I think any game with an auto save could really use that ability because it's so easy to fuck something up, like in any of the Souls games or any of that kind of stuff where you don't have controls of your own save files. Yeah, it can be a big problem.
Doesn't PlayStation have something similar to this in terms of their?
Yeah, you can basically back up your saves separately, which I think you have to have like PSN Plus or whatever to be able to. You got to be paying for it, but still, it's a really, really good feature, and it's something that I've wanted Xbox to have forever. Because we're always playing with fire a little bit of like, well, I've only got about 20 minutes before this local save overwrites my cloud save, so I need to be really fucking quick with whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, Ash is listening to a lot of feedback lately.
True.
It'd be a bad one to throw in.
True. Yeah, we put that on the list. Yeah, any games in particular you think would really benefit from having some more cloud save features that you can kind of mess around with your save files?
Pretty much your idea. Branching narratives. I can't think of any other reasons as to why you really would, unless there's
there really shouldn't be any reason for it. Yeah. But unfortunately, we have to sometimes. So.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is that, like, it really sucks when, you know, the way achievements work are, you know, 99% of the time it's fine, but that 1% of the time when you do something, you don't get the achievement, and you're like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? Am I going to play this whole game again? Am I just going to keep going and hope it unlocks? Like, the ability to be able to kind of roll back things, I think makes it a lot easier.
That's the big thing, right? If you get to the end of the achievements in a game and the game stops looking for the loop to look for achievements again, and it won't look for it again, then you're basically stuck, right? Yeah. You need something like an auto, like a manual, like search, churn, like whatever you call it, to kind of push that stuff through. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then the alternative is exactly, like having dedicated save files so you can roll back to stuff and retry things, and yeah. Bit of a pain. But yeah, Isaac, let us know what your thinking is as well, because Forza Horizon 6 is an interesting choice for that, because I can't think of any scenarios where you'd want to roll back your cloud saves, because like unless
it's weird because there's weekly the online weekly stuff, right?
Festival stuff, yeah.
They had a game breaking bug.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. Like that kind of stuff.
Once again, it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for the devs. So wouldn't need to save stuff.
Devs on the under terrible working conditions and underpaid and
at risk of getting laid off.
That's an excuse to cheap out. Yeah. Okay.
Listen, target the devs that don't want to touch achievements whatsoever.
Yeah, thanks, Rex.
The ones that are like, I'm gonna have one broken achievement on my Steam.
Yeah, speaking to answers for the next question. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So yes, we got a question from one of our new listeners, Miss Sandals 91, who says, is there a trophy or achievement in our case in any particular game that turns you off from completing a game? For example, I love Tiny Tina's, but there's one trophy left, which is to buy all the upgrades, and it's such a huge grind to get that much gold that I've dragged it out for years. Almost to the point of giving up on it. But I also now feel like that I've spent too much time to give up on it, and I feel like I'm in a bad relationship with this game. Fucking preaching to the choir, 100%. We've kind of talked about some of the stuff in the past, but again, like, we do have new listeners coming in and stuff, so we can always relitigate it a little bit. But there was some discussion actually in the Discord channel. There is a question channel on the Discord where you can ask these questions. I think Professor Pluto, was talking about a few things.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything in particular that really, like, when, again, I know a lot of us have started more militant in our achievement hunting, where it's like, we won't do this, we won't do that. Now, I think we're a little bit more laissez-faire about what we play, to an extent. But yeah, anything that pops to mind immediately that is kind of a no-go for you guys.
The cogs
Um,
are turning.
Sorry, the what?
Well, I mean, yes, talking about cogs and devs not caring about achievements, Gears of War was basically my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
same.
So they put the achievements that in there as a big fuck off to the community of achievement hunters, and then yeah, and this is what you get. So people having to answer this question time and time again.
You get
Yeah.
what you get, and you don't get upset.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yes, like seriously, 3.0 is maybe the best. Oh, okay. Obviously, there's a tier of like achievements being broken or discontinued and like time available stuff. That's kind of its own category of like, okay, that's bad to start with. It's just like shouldn't happen at all. And then you've got the kind of stuff that's like, oh, hey, back in the early days, it was, and I think there was an example put in there around like Ghost Recon, the sort of advanced warfighter, the leaderboard achievements and that kind of stuff that are very difficult to get and like are a huge pain in the ass in terms of like, it's not just like dependent on your skill level, but you also need to coordinate, and there's people blocking the leaderboards, and it's a whole fucking thing. So if we take those categories kind of out, because those are things that are kind of like there's the reason why I will never play Quake 4, or Lost Planet 2, and I should never have played Graw, but Graw was like the second game I played, and I really, really wish I hadn't, but whatever, it's too late now. That's thanks 15-year-old me. So if we think about like taking those out, the other kinds of stuff that really puts me off, like no death runs of things. I'm really not a fan of like, oh, I just have to like, it's like I can't think of almost a single game where I've done a no death run legit. I've always either not played the game because it's too much of a pain in the ass, or I've save scummed it as much as humanly possible by doing some of that cloud saving stuff, where it's like when I die, I delete my cloud save, go back to, or delete my local save, pull a cloud save from a while ago.
You would have done Limbo though, right? That's what, 5 deaths?
Yeah, and so that's maybe the one other example. Yeah, so Limbo is, and I've done that like 3 times now. But that was something that sat on my tag for a very, very long time. In the same way that Sandals is talking about, where it's like I had the like no death achievement on all 3 versions of Limbo for years, sitting there waiting to be done until I finally pulled my finger out and got it done. But I did all 3 of them back to back to back, basically. And the only reason it was because I couldn't save scum it. But with something like Planet of Lana, for example, I save scum the shit out of that like no death achievement, because it just took all the fun out of it. Bramble was another one. Like that was a really cool, interesting game, but you die a lot in that game. That's how you learn things, And so having the achievement of that game being like, yeah, just finish the whole game without dying, like, what is that for? Why? Like, what like that really just takes the enjoyment out of the game in a lot of ways.
Mind Laben too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mind Laben in like Wolfenstein 2. I think like the New Order is pretty much the closest to a perfect achievement list.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game with an amazing, like a 9 out of 10, if not a 10 out of 10 list for sure.
Yeah. Which I use the 360 version for my 1 mil. But the Wolfenstein 2 of Mind Laben, that I would happily go and do Mind Laben. Sorry, I'd happily go and do Wolfenstein 2. But yeah, I'm struggling to find the time now. I do want to get it done because it is an achievement.
For sure.
But
to be fair, so is like, because I had the same thing, right? Like I attempted Mind Laben a couple of times and just kind of realized that it was outside of the amount of time to skill that I have.
Yeah.
But I did go back a little bit ago and basically complete that entire game on the highest difficulty, get all the collectibles, did all the other achievements, like did everything else in that game. Because like, as much as like the New Order is a much better game, but New Colossus is a pretty good, like it's a well-made game.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, yeah, trying to get to the end of that is like, I think I've got like 2 or 3 achievements left in Wolfenstein, and I think both of them are like 3 of them are like Mind Laben related. It's like for one of the DLCs, and then for one of the and for the base game. I've did the other 2 DLCs because they weren't too bad, but yeah, it really just kind of takes the fun out of that game. and I'm kind of the same way I run speedruns. Like I don't like I play games very quickly. You know, obviously, as people will see with like how I talk about stuff on the show, and like I get through stuff quite quickly because that's how I play games. But I don't like being rushed. I like being able to, if I want to take a fast pace with a game, I don't want to be skipping through cutscenes and stuff. And I also don't really want to do another playthrough of a game most of the time because most games aren't good enough to be played more than once. And I think that's the harsh reality of playing games.
I think the exception.
Mm.
I just want to add to the speedrun thing. The exception to the rule, in my opinion, is Halo MCC. Because I do like how they do the whole, you know, do a mission at a time and then we'll add the sum of the totals up.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I'm okay with those kind of achievements of like,
you
did legendary under 3 hours, but you didn't do it in one run.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a little different, right? Like if you're trying to do beat times on certain levels and you're kind of adding it up, it's not the stress of like I need to play through this whole game as quickly as possible, make no fuck ups the entire time, and if I do, I have to go back to the start. Like that's crazy to me. Because like again, as much as I enjoy video games, I can't think of a single video game that I really want to put my head down and grind out that much to get one achievement. And like Gears of War 3
I'm an idiot. I would gladly like smash my head against one section of a game over and over again. But yeah, I think probably the most recent thing would be like Serious Sam 2 has like a coin op mode that we struggled with a bit. It's like do the whole one without losing lives. You only get a certain amount of coins for the game and stuff. But we've kind of like put that aside, going like, oh, maybe later. But we're definitely going to do it. But I will do it. I'll do that kind of stuff. So
I like the ones where it's just like one achievement, like Timeful 2's Gauntlet.
Yes,
something that will test you, but is not the whole duration of the game.
Yeah, and again, like that's probably about as hard. Like that level of achievement is about as difficult as I want my achievements to be, because that was fucking difficult. Like it was really challenging. But you're right. Like it was a short section. Again, like Mile High was in COD 4. You know, like there's a level, and obviously that level is going to be different for everyone. As I've gotten older and I've played more games, and kind of I'm just, you know, my reflexes aren't as good as they used to be. I kind of have less of an interest of being challenged when I play video games anymore. You know, I'm challenged enough in my daily life that I'm just like, I feel like I just want to like play something for the experience, which is why I'm like, every time I come like, hey, game lets me play the game on story mode, I'm just going to play it on story mode. Like I don't need to put barriers up for my experience for me to enjoy it more. That's not where I derive enjoyment from video games. Yeah, but that's just me, and like I can totally understand. And again, like I know there's you know, TA is filled with articles and forum posts about people being like, oh well, you know, if you put the assist mode on and you still get the achievements, what have you fucking achieved? How dare you're taking this away from other people who did this legit, quote unquote. And like some of it's like, you know, jog on, like whatever. It's a fucking like it's. If you're comparing yourself with other people for achievement stuff, you're already kind of missing the point. Like it's the stuff you want to do for yourself first and foremost, or it should be. But I don't give a fuck. Like I'll play on the easiest difficulty possible because I just want to have the experience and be able to talk about it on the show and share it with other people and kind of give my thoughts on it. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like, I don't think my enjoyment of a game is improved by getting stuck on a boss and having to fight them 10 times versus beating them in 1 or 2.
Agreed.
Yeah, true. Yeah, well, shout out Sandy Lee in the chat. I think that's Miss Sandals right there. So,
fantastic.
Thanks for joining. Yeah.
All right. Anything else that kind of pops up, or should we move on?
That's about it. Really, it was just the Gears of War stuff that really grinds my gears. You know,
fucking serious. The seriously achievements really are just taking the piss.
Yeah.
Those games aren't nearly good enough to be played for that long. All right. News. There's a fair amount going on. The first one is something that just came out right before the show started. Kingdom Hearts got a bit of appearance at D23, which I believe is like Disney's big kind of thing that they show off. They've been talking about all their kind of properties. They showed off the new Ahsoka trailer and a few other bits and pieces. Really exciting. New Doomsday thing as well. But one really interesting thing that came out from that is they had some chats around Kingdom Hearts. And so They showed off some new Kingdom Hearts 4 footage. It looks fucking great. They showed off a new world they're doing, which is based on Pixar's Coco. Like, watching that trailer again, it's like a very short trailer. It's like a minute and a half, and it has a couple other bits and pieces in there as well. But holy shit, it looks.
Adding to that, we're getting a Coco 2 movie.
Yes.
Like roughly the same time around the release of this.
Which is perfect. The smartest fucking thing in the world to do. Yeah, do both, you know. Like, when I first started seeing, I mean, I knew it was a Kingdom Hearts thing, but the fidelity on that trailer, I was like, oh, this is just the movie. This is just Pixar movie, right? And it's like, it looks really good. Like,
yeah, it does. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's included here, but I'm pretty sure I've been watching the D23 stuff today because the Bluey teaser trailer for the movie was in it, which is just a 45-second trailer. Yeah. There was discussion around the Simpsons thing, which I probably want to bring up later.
Yep.
But yeah, I saw the Kingdom Hearts stuff, and I'm pretty sure somebody said that it's one of 9 gaming properties for Disney that they're going to invest into, that they want to be over $1 billion franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it's taken them this long, but I'm glad, you know. It looks like, yeah, like this is the kind of thing where it showed up at this thing.
Yeah,
they're talking about it more. Kingdom Hearts is like, again, this is the kind of thing. It's like maybe it shows up at the parks more. Like, you know, maybe there's a bit of a resurgence for it. Like Disney kind of taking some ownership of that kind of stuff, which is really cool.
I do think once the Final Fantasy VII trilogy is complete, they're just going to put all their money into like doing this, especially with that late 2027 reveal.
Yes,
that's a good shout. Yeah,
which we knew about from JB Hi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean the leakers of all good dates. Yep. I mean that's but to be fair, like it's been a long time since we've had Kingdom Hearts 3, and I have mixed feelings about Kingdom Hearts 3, but I'm really excited. I mean, you know, there's a lot of talk around what's going to be in Kingdom Hearts 4 in terms of worlds. Obviously, they expanded things out with Pixar and that kind of stuff. Again, they started with Kingdom Hearts 1 was mostly traditional stuff. Kingdom Hearts 2 had a couple other bits and pieces. Kingdom Hearts 3 obviously did because you had like Big Hero 6 and Toy Story. Toy Story looked really good, by the way. I love the comparison of people taking the in-game cutscenes from Toy Story and comparing it with the original movie. It's crazy.
I've got to say, definitely going to be a Lilo and Stitch world, and definitely going to be a Frozen.
Well, I mean, they did Frozen in 3, but no, they did. They did. Yeah.
I feel though, with Disney putting this much interest into it and having a TV series as well.
Yes, that's true.
Disney's going to have a lot more say into be like, use these properties.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean,
are we thinking like real life Lilo and Stitch crossover or what? Like Pirates of the Caribbean?
Well, because they did Pirates of the Caribbean, which was weird. I mean, to be fair, they did it twice, right? Because they brought it back for 3. Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning more towards there's going to be a Star Wars level, right? They're going to do a Star Wars world. They'll probably do some sort of Marvel world. Like this is like I think Disney showing this kind of thing off and showing off their partnership in this kind of game means that they're trying to lean this. And if you want to make this $1 billion franchise, you need to be like, let's bring in all the IP. We're probably not going to see, you know, an Alien versus Predator level, but like, you know, Disney owns so many IP right now.
But we will see a PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man, though, won't we?
Yeah, well, yeah.
We'll have like an MCU world, though. We'll have Star Wars.
Yeah.
We'll have bloody hell. We might even have Bluey.
Potentially. Like, yeah, you could like again, like instead of doing a Winnie the Pooh level with like the kids stuff, like maybe do a Bluey level. Like I could 100% see it. Now, whether how much that eventuates and you know, because again, the game's only a year away, but I am very excited for it, especially because Kingdom Hearts 3 was it was okay. It wasn't too bad, but it was no Kingdom Hearts 2. So yeah, really looking forward to 4.
Do we feel like 4 is going to be much more of a, I don't want to use the term cash grab, but Disney's going to have a lot more of an influence on
I don't think so. I feel like it's been in development long enough that it's like I don't think this game will be the cash grab. I think it'll be everything else afterwards. I think it's more likely.
The TV shows the cash grab.
Yes, well, that's the other bit too. They also announced that yes, they're doing an anime or an animated like show of some kind, inspired by the beloved video game franchise. They showed like a picture of it and just said that they're kind of doing it. We don't really know much else about that, but super excited for that. We're really curious to see what does that mean. Is it like there? Is it a retelling? Is it like a spin-off thing? Is it we're doing Keyblade Wars? Like what is it? There's a lot of lore to pull from.
Yeah.
And it's also coming to Nintendo Switch 2 is also something they announced too.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for it. All right. Next story here. Blizzard is reporting that Xbox is that they are Xbox's best performing studio in their last fiscal year. Their last fiscal year was the third highest ever. So part of the reason I'm talking about this is we obviously had the layoffs a few weeks back. 16,000 people laid off with another 16,000 to go. But one of the studios that we didn't really hear much, kind of getting anyone let go from is Blizzard. And this is probably why. Mojang and Blizzard seem to be the really kind of golden children of Xbox's strategy at the moment. Yeah, and so apparently like Diablo 4 was doing really well. Overwatch has had a huge resurgence. Yeah, sorry, Cameron. It's fine. I can.
He's just munching off screen. He's not willing to show it.
It's all good. Yeah. So again, I don't know if there's too much to say here outside of like, well, that's interesting. Blizzard obviously is part of that sort of was part of the Activision acquisition. So there's a vested interest that it does really, really well. But do you think we're still going to see layoffs from them? I don't know. The rest of the Xbox stuff is still not looking great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when Activision Blizzard was acquired, most of the layoffs happened then.
True.
And it was then that, reducing those double ups of jobs. Like if Xbox has got a marketing division, then why do we need one in Blizzard?
Yeah, that's fair.
I still feel like there probably will be layoffs, but not to the extent of like what just happened recently.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially if it's one of their golden goose.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, it's a contrast compared to what I don't know if you guys brought it up, the Halo one last week, like laying off for.
Yeah, although there's some that news is a
Yeah.
bit shaky in terms of what actually happened at Halo Studios.
Contractors.
It was almost. I think it was pretty much all contractors, which is still not great. But
typically happens in the gaming industry though. Once a game is shipped, though, that's when contractors let go, and then they work on another project.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
But eventually, a conversation about retaining more talented staff to keep the property going.
Yeah. Well, if it's done right, you get stuff like Double Fine moving the artists onto the next game, and then moving people over, right? So
yeah, I mean, to be fair though, like we haven't really heard any good news coming out of Halo Studios for a long time now, especially with the whole thing with the art team getting laid off and months ago and all that kind of stuff. Like it's not that far-fetched to believe that instead of reducing their internal workforce, they decided to just not renew contractors as a way of basically doing attrition without having to lay people off. Because again, it doesn't surprise me that Halo are one of the teams that are... Well, again, we don't know what Halo are working on. We know they're working on a new game of some kind. When that's due to come out, we haven't seen hide nor hair of it. Maybe we get an announcement at the end of this year about a new Halo, but I doubt it. It'd probably be a next year thing. But yeah.
Yeah, and like Overwatch is popping off at the moment, especially in new character announcements and stuff. So
yeah, it's been a bit of a...
I'm surprised with that, really. Yeah,
me too. That's why I put the story in here, because I was like, okay, I can see, like Diablo 4 has been solid, and their expansions have been good. Like Vessel of Hatred was okay, but the latest one, they did Lord of Hatred, people seem to love. Obviously, there are still issues with it and balancing and all that kind of stuff, but it got a lot of really good buzz.
It's crazy though with Overwatch. It feels like Marvel Rivals got them.
Yeah.
They were complacent for so long. Like
Got them going. Yeah.
got them going again, and
Kind of, yeah, it's a good point. Like, did Marvel Rivals kind of reignite that kind of segment of the game playing populace a little bit, and remind, and it's a good idea, where it's like Overwatch, their team could point to Marvel Rivals and could be like, see, there's still heaps of people interested in this genre. Like, we should be putting more time and investment into it, and they definitely have been. They basically rolled back pretty much everything they did for Overwatch 2. And yeah, like you said, Kier, like a shitload of new characters, and there's a lot of sport behind. And again, like I haven't really been following it all that closely because it's not really my kind of thing. But it's interesting to me just see like that they have a large financial success with it. But I guess that's the sort of paid the microtransactions and other bits and pieces that kind of play into that.
I'm just surprised with Overwatch being the hit it was originally as well that they haven't invested more into other media with it.
Yeah,
like a TV series or.
They've tried though. They've done comics. They had something animated related to it. But
I mean, like not. Yes and no.
You mean like you mean full like multimedia, like
full multi.
An anime, a movie of some kind, all that kind of shit. Yeah, for sure, TV show. Yeah, I feel like
it seems like a property that it could really push with it.
I totally agree. I think that, but I think historically Microsoft have not been very good about that in terms of getting the most out of like the God. What do they fucking call it? When you,
I mean, sorry, I wouldn't think it would be fair to place it just on Microsoft. I think Activision Blizzard itself needs to.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft have pushed this stuff with. I mean, Xbox One generation with the Halo TV show.
That's kind of what I mean. Is that like they have kind of dipped their toe into that in the past with the kind of cross media. What the fuck is the term? I can never remember what the term, the wanky marketing term is for those kinds of things. But yeah, I feel like maybe Activision. I feel like Activision just never really had any interest in it as a business. Activision were always a company that was like, yeah, we're in video games because it's a commodity business. Like they would be just as happy selling crackers or fucking tissues or car parts. They're like, oh, video games make money, so we're invested in this business. Then they, as a publisher, obviously the developers are obviously very involved, but that's always the sort of thing that I got the feeling from Bobby Kotick and that kind of philosophy of game making as a business. Whereas like Microsoft, like you said, have been trying to dip their toe a little bit into this multimedia stuff, but not really kind of getting anywhere with it. Like Halo didn't do very well, and they've never really had that big success there. And I'm wondering if it's just Overwatch is, you're right, like maybe the perfect property for that, but they haven't quite. They may be a little gun shy around how do you do that, because they also don't, they don't really have like a streaming service they can put it up on. They'd have to sell it to like Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu or whatever, or Amazon or whatever, right? And I feel like there's some contention there around how that would work. But I mean, I could see it. I would watch an Overwatch TV show for sure. Yeah. Like I'd be super keen on it. I think it's a great idea.
I mean, I feel like we're in a world though where it's probably more possible when you've got properties like Arcane and Fallout and
sure.
Yeah, it would be really hard to market something like that. But I mean, you think about the way like Heroes of the Storm is so like under like it's just like this thing that's just continuously, working. There's such a big.
Do they still do anything with that? I remember them stopping support for that years ago, but I can't.
I don't think they do.
No, I mean, like, but like things like that where they've had stuff that's just like sits at a low level and just has such a strong community about it, right? So they've got these little things that they've driven towards that just haven't had like, I guess, wide stream success. Like even like Overwatch is kind of niche still, really.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how many people are playing it; it's still a category. They've got so many characters that you could put in their own video games, so make a
StarCraft Ghost, just put Tracer.
I
in
wanted
there,
to bring that up so bad.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you. There's so much potential there. But I also feel like I don't know if Xbox has an appetite to do anything like that anymore. Like maybe in the Phil Spencer era that might have been more of a thing, but as soon as that acquisition happened, I feel like they battened down the hatches on everything, and now with Asha kind of cleaning house, it feels like they're just going to be on
Halo, you'll get your Gears, and you'll get your Forza, and you'll be happy with it.
It doesn't matter if you'll be happy with it. You just get it, and if you're not happy with it, then we shut the studio down, and you never hear from the franchise ever again. Because that's like, if E-Day doesn't hit, I have very little faith that the coalition will be around much longer. And to be fair, even if it does hit, like given that they still need to lay off 16,000 people, or 1,600 people rather, 1,600 people, like those are mostly probably going to come from. Sorry, yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't the Halo campaign Evolve sales like 1.2 mil?
Yeah, something like that.
PlayStation, Xbox, I think.
PlayStation apparently not super great. They're doing okay, but not amazing. Again, we don't really have numbers for anywhere else, but yeah, I mean, again, like not a smash hit. Obviously, Game Pass eats into that a little bit too. That's the way we all played it, so that's not a big surprise.
Yeah, I have no faith in all of the current main studios from Xbox Coalition. No, nothing. So
yeah,
even Playground Games, like, I mean, Forza's still Forza, right? So it's kind of weird.
I heard an interesting stat. So as the so on PlayStation they re-released Black Ops 1 and 2. Like they ported them to PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 with whatever. It's like they ported them because obviously they don't have backwards compatibility for the PlayStation 3. The sales that they made on both Black Ops, the Black Ops 1 and 2, not even remix, just ports on the PlayStation, made more money together than Forza Horizon 6 did. Like, with games that are ancient, that they just ported across. Like, the scale of what we're talking about here is crazy in terms of like, well, if they can just do that, why would Xbox even want a studio that costs, if you think about how much money they would have spent on Forza Horizon 6, which is a great game. It's probably actually going to end up on my Game of the Year list at this rate.
It's COD though.
It is COD, right? And so obviously not every game is going to be like that.
I know it's like we're talking about a game that's 20 years old, but it is COD.
It is, but
it's the worst example.
But it's not even a remake of COD. It's not a remaster of COD. It is literally just a port. It still has all the hacked lobby problems and all the other bullshit.
I know, but we are also talking about one of the best-selling video game like franchises of all time.
For sure, which Microsoft own. And I think that's my point, is that, like, I think to your point there, Keo, like, when these games come out, like, yeah, is when the next Halo comes out, do you think Halo Studios is going to be around? When I mean, again, we don't know when it's coming out, so maybe that's a different example, but, like, I would not be surprised at all if after E-Day comes out, the Coalition basically gets slashed and burned and gets turned into a support studio. And I feel like Playground Games, there's a possibility that happens to them too. They obviously have two studios, so it's a little bit different. They're still looking to release. They still have a tentative release date for Forza Horizon 6 on PlayStation, and they've got Forza coming out in February next year. So that's maybe a little bit different in terms of like what happens to them. But it wouldn't surprise me.
Fable, you mean?
Yeah.
Fable, yeah, in February.
Yeah, did you? I swear you just said Forza in February.
No,
He did.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, Fable in February. Too many Fs.
Yeah.
Forza in, like, they said end of this year. I think they said summer of this year, or whatever. So, or winter, or whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll see when that happens. So maybe it's like, well, they keep some of those teams around. Maybe they don't. But they've still got 1,600 people that they're going to cut by the end of their financial year, which is June 2027. So anything that's releasing in that window, those teams, I imagine, will be probably updating their CVs pretty quickly.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's the other game I was thinking of. I couldn't remember what it was. Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, yeah, of course.
Yeah. There's heaps of players. There's so much stuff going on with Hearthstone at the moment, apparently.
Which is, again, another one that's kind of flown under the radar. Like, obviously, it had its big amount of popularity, but it's been, again, a bit long in the tooth. And then every fucking person tried to do their own version of Hearthstone. For a bit.
So there's a lot of I had somebody talking about that the other day. So and it's just under the radar, these big communities of games, and they don't do anything outside of that with it, right? So yeah.
All right. Next news story here is the Halloween the game, which is another asymmetric multiplayer like Friday the 13th, is banned in Australia and New Zealand, which again, I'm not quite sure about the New Zealand thing, but banned in Australia because players can smoke weed in it. So that's the Australian rating board ruining everything for us yet again. Basically because of the fact that a controlled substance gives you a positive ability. So it allows you to, if you smoke weed in the game, it allows you to see Mike Myers' pathing, basically, I think is the
it's so weird though that this is a thing that they had to do in the game. I just imagine it being like a scary movie reference or something.
Yeah.
It's like if they made it parody, then they probably could have got away with it, but they went down the serious route. So
well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's because they're not getting banned here for like blood and violence and gore and shit, right? Like the Friday,
it's always the same stuff.
It's always drugs, right?
Sexual stuff, and it is drugs.
Yeah.
So
it's just funny that you can have like the most violent video game, but if it has sex or if it has drugs, that's a no-no.
Yeah.
It's honestly so weird though that it's affecting the Kiwis. That's what
that is very strange. Yeah. And I'm wondering if
it seems like such a cop out.
It kind of is, right? And I think it's because usually when they do, if I remember correctly, when they usually do the classifications, this is the way it went for physical games at least. We essentially get the Australian version of the game usually. Okay. So it's like if they have to make any like localization changes or anything like that, they don't do a New Zealand version. We get the Australian version. So I think because the Australian version is not getting classified, they're just not going to do it, which means we don't get it either because they're not going to do a separate classification for us. Which is fucking bullshit. You know,
it really is. So you should work at separating your country from us.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's just, we'll get right on that.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll acquire New Zealand soon enough.
To be fair, the game doesn't look that great, and asymmetric multiplayer games are a dime a dozen and are usually boring as fuck. So, I don't think this is going to be, again, I don't feel too bad about missing out on it. Because, I didn't play Friday the 13th, I didn't play Predator Hunting Grounds, I didn't play Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed, and I didn't play Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I've never played Dead by Daylight. Or
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
There's so fucking many of them, and most of them are bad.
And they're all just playing to the same crowd. Like, how many times do you have to...
Yeah. And, like, Dead by Daylight already has all the best crossovers in it anyway. So, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, Dead by Daylight is the only one you need. It's still good. So
is it a controversial take to say that most horror movies are shit too?
I mean, yeah, well, let's most.
I don't know. You watch a movie and tell me. You watch a Halloween movie and you tell me if it's shit.
The original Halloween is fan-fucking-tastic. John Carpenter is...
I was going to say the 80 ones are like...
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, look.
Any horror movie after 2000s just...
Most movies in general are bad, Cameron. So I think that, yes, you could probably safely say that most horror movies are bad in particular because people like to make horror movies. Most of them are not that great.
Sandy Lee makes a really good point in chat. I'm baffled how Halloween is banned for weed, but Grand Theft Auto is going to be fun. Like, 100% it's going to be a case of GTA 6. There'll be weed or something in it, and the classification board will just turn the other leaf.
Yeah, or they'll give it an 18 plus, and then they'll be like, well, it's not going into stores anyway because fuck you, like whatever. Like I don't know, like maybe it's that. And we'll talk about GTA in just a second, but Sandy also says maybe they can censor it like they did Stick of Truth back in the day. Yeah, exactly. Like it was the same thing in New Zealand. You know, when they did the whole thing in Stick of Truth, it was they put the koala bear on the Australian flag there to censor it, right? We got that same version, so like we got our censored as well.
Yeah,
it's not the end of the world, but still.
I love just being Aussie, Matt.
It's fucking annoying because you guys suck. It's just unbelievable.
You know what? This is the best. This is the best thing that your country gives us.
Best cultural export is chocolate. Yes, 100%.
Love Whitakers.
I wish I got the non-dairy thing makes. I miss chocolate a lot.
I want to try the white chocolate one, the gumdrop.
Oh yeah, I heard the good thing. I think Char tried that and said it was quite good.
The limited edition one apparently. Yeah,
I
really
was a big fan of the jelly tip one as well. That was really good.
Coconut is probably my favorite in the standard flavors at the moment.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the caramel. I love caramel in anything. So anyway, I'm gonna have to get a treat after this. This is bad.
Yeah. That's all right. And now other podcast has been censored because of the we mentioned weed. So
yes, exactly. Yeah. So now we've got our
They're banned in
monetization taken
Australia.
away. Yep.
Yeah.
We get monetization.
No, fuck no. No, we
I'd say 1 2 months.
no,
Wow.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Next story here is talking about GTA 6. The $100 Ultimate Edition of GTA 6 is selling more pre-orders than the $80 Standard Edition, says Take-Two CEO, Strauss Zelnick. I mean, not super surprised, but I figured we can talk about it. I mean, it does really feel like the voting with your wallet kind of thing is that the deluxe editions of most of these games tend to sell like fucking gangbusters. If you look at the PlayStation charts, they're always, like the ball and gun gamers, they're always like, well, I'm always going to buy the extra $20 extra expensive version of every version of a game I buy because whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might as well, right? So
It's interesting. When asked whether players were pre-ordering the $80 version or the $100 version, Zelnick replied, both actually is skewing more to the premium edition, but that might be a reflection again of the fact that most avid consumers are the ones who are pre-ordering.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
exactly. So yeah, it might just be that, hey, like the kinds of people who are crazy enough to pre-order a digital fucking game where they won't run out of copies are the kinds of people who would buy a $100 copy of a game for an extra mission and a couple of hats or whatever the fuck it is and a tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if that continues.
I feel like GTA 6 though would be the outlier in this kind of stuff where I feel like it's mainstream enough that people won't care. They'll go for the higher edition. Whereas in 9 times out of 10 with other games, I don't.
Well, that's what I'm not sure about, right? Like, is because that would be my thinking too, right? Like logically, you would think, well, GTA, the kinds of people who are super into GTA, even if they just pick it up, are probably going to pick up the most deluxe edition because it might be the only game they've bought in the last like 5 years or whatever, or they've bought a console for it or whatever.
I think I've had 3 or 4 people at this point ask me in the last few months of like, what console should I get to play this game?
Yeah,
that aren't gamers. So
yeah, exactly.
It's just that
one that will fit it on the hard drive.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, we also don't know about that either. And so they've also talked about like
buy an Xbox, and I tell them that's over $1,000 now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
but still cheaper than a PlayStation Pro. So
true, but a PlayStation Pro is more powerful though.
I think in Europe, an Xbox Series X is now like $1,300.
Jesus.
Australia? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're 1,000.
We're 1,100, aren't we?
Yeah, like
for the 1 terabyte.
But then it's also like $1,399 for a PS5 Pro. So
yeah, but to be fair, the PS5 Pro is more powerful. Best deal in gaming. Yeah, I guess I'm really curious to see if this is a trend that continues because, like, yeah, to your point, Cameron, this is the kind of thing where I go, yeah, GTA is the one exception where people buy the premium edition because they've already thrown down a bunch of cash on a new console, and this is their game. This is going to be their game for the next couple of years. But I'm wondering if this is just like actually the deluxe editions always sell better, and it's just that like we're actually the outliers who buy the cheaper version of it. I don't know.
I'm wondering if it's more the case when it comes to mainstream games. And when I say mainstream, I'm talking about your GTA, your not FIFA,
COD, EAFC, yeah, NBA,
your
2K.
ball and gun gamers. Yeah, exactly.
Because you got to think most consumers only buy a couple of video games a year,
2 to 3. Yeah.
So, I mean, if it is the case, I wouldn't be surprised of, GTA is coming out. I'm just going to get the most expensive edition.
Yeah, because I got FOMO. I don't want to miss out, and if I'm going to spend the money on the game, I might as well get the best version of it. Like, yeah.
But I mean, like, this would be the outlier though, because if any other investor for any other company went, oh yeah, we can do that, they'd be dreaming, right? They couldn't pull this off.
Would they? I don't
So-
know. That's what I mean. Like, I guess it depends on how strong you think your IP is. I mean, he's also in here talking about how they're not sure what the long tail of the system is going to look like. But if they look at, because it's so big and no game has ever come out to this level of kind of interest, they don't know how long it's going to, how long people are going to be buying that game for. But people are buying GTA 5. They sold over to like 200 million units over the last 13 years. Like that's crazy. Is GTA 6 going to have that same level of success? Are people going to be buying shark cards? We don't even know about the online yet. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think you're right, Kier. Not every game can do this, but just about every game comes out with a deluxe edition, so they got to be selling to somebody, right?
I'm trying to find like factual information, but a few news articles that I'm saying of using the PlayStation Store as an example, and saying if you track the premium versus the standard editions, most games in the last month have been the higher premiums.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Is that like in the volumes of those more mainstream bigger games, people tend to buy the premium edition of the game.
But we're talking the Halo campaign Evolved. We're talking GTA,
Forza,
Wolverine, Call of Duty.
I mean, Wolverine would be pretty big. Yeah. And I guess the content gap of what you get from a standard edition in GTA is not even worth it, in our opinion.
Oh, for sure. I guess no.
From our perspective, there's nothing in here we would care about. So
and that's true of most premium editions of games, right? It really feels like they just cut out a little bit of content to try and get you on the FOMO to upgrade to the deluxe edition. I mean, I got an alert for a sale for Digimon Time Stranger. That game. I've been sitting waiting on that game to come down in price, and they've been sneaking the discounts up from like 20% up to 40%. But now they're only doing discounts on the deluxe edition, which is still more than I want to pay because I'm like, well, I don't care about the extra shit. Like, anyway, it's.
I mean, we're not your typical consumers though. We're always. We want the buffet kind of deal.
100%.
Whereas
yes.
a lot of your, hey, if I'm buying 2 games a year and all I ever play is COD and football clubs, then I may as well spend the 150 or whatever it is to get as
everything.
Much as
Yeah.
If that's all I come home to and play every night.
Yeah, I can't argue with that logic. It just does not make any sense to me as a human being. But I understand from that perspective. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure. Again, there'll be a bunch of talk around GTA 6. We've still got a few months to go, but they're finally starting to do. We talked about the Netflix stuff last week. Like, it's really interesting to see if that's going to be a thing or if that's just a GTA thing. I'd be curious to see if there is ever going to be a game of that size, outside of maybe GTA 7. This will be a quick one. Persona 4 Revival producer says that remakes of Persona 1 and 2 are something that we should definitely do. Which is, again, it's a bit of a nothing story, but there's been some chat around the fact that they redid 3 in the new engine. They redid 4. They obviously had Metaphor recently, a couple years ago as well. Again, it's probably still too early to remake 5 at this point, so it probably makes sense to go back and do the old games.
Breadcrumbing, they're getting the news out there that they're already working on it.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Probably.
I mean, like, Persona 2 is probably the one that would make the most sense for them to redo, because also it's in there's 2 versions of it. But they basically have not talked about it.
It sits in the same boat as the early Final Fantasies that we talked about. It's like what they would have to completely remake it or something to get anything out of that first one. Yeah. So
the further back you go, the tougher it's going to be, the more work you're going to do. But to be fair, they have the engine, right? They have the mechanics. You can it doesn't need to be a 1-to-1 remake of the original game, right? Like, you can do a proper a more traditional game with that same story, with those same characters. Obviously, some people will be upset by that, but to be fair, how many people do you know who have even played Persona 1 or 2?
Yeah. And then you just pretend it's a remake, and then it turns out it's actually part of the main series.
Yes. Well, to be fair, if anything outside of Final Fantasy could do that, it would be Persona.
Yeah.
Yeah, Persona 1 in particular is very much a Shin Megami Tensei style game. Like, they would need a serious fucking rework to make that work. But I can see Persona 2 working quite well. I mean, they even refer to it quite a bit in Persona 3 as a kind of meme joke. So I'd be really interested to see what that looks like. Again, no news there or anything, but just interesting that they're talking about it. And I think similar to how Resident Evil have been going back to their well to remake their games, this probably makes a lot of sense for Atlas, considering, again, they announced Persona 6 as well, so they've got that coming, but we don't have any information around like dates or characters or even theme. So having one team working on remakes and one team working on kind of new games is probably not a bad idea. Seems to be working out well for Capcom. Quick one here. Xbox CEO Asher Sharma says the Elder Scrolls 6 is incredible. Elder Scrolls 6 : 8 asterisks. So we don't know what the subtitle is. We assume it's some sort of horrible swear word that they're not allowed to put on Twitter. But yeah, so apparently Asher went in
Xbox, but all in capital letters.
Yes, Xbox. Yeah, exactly. So apparently she went and played a build of it. Super looks really good. Really happy with it, apparently. Of course, she would say that. But also a bunch of workers planted red flags outside the studio for one for each person that was laid off at ZeniMax, as well as a giant inflatable rat to protest, known as Scabby, which has apparently been used in other protests around the CWA. They've used it. The Communication Workers of America Union have brought it to other protests as well. So it's getting another reappearance here. I recommend checking out the video. It's quite good.
Scabby's such a great name.
Yeah, Scabby's a great name, especially because if you don't know, a scab is someone who crosses the picket line and works while they're union busting. Yeah, and so the union are pushing back on this. Obviously, the layoffs have happened. There's a lot of stuff still going on there. Yeah, I feel like Microsoft are not going to have any goodwill for a good while now. I feel like they've really kind of fucked themselves in terms of having any support on any side from developers, from the public, from the media. Everyone just seems to fucking hate them. And I think that's probably somewhat warranted. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I've got nothing to add to that, really. So, yeah.
Okay.
This is more of a PSA than anything else. Twitch is using streamers' content to train generative AI by default. With the quote, "If it was opt-in, no one would opt in." So what you need to do, if you aren't aware of this, is go into your Twitch account, go to your security settings, and make sure that your generative AI option is turned off. And then double check it a day later to make sure it stays turned off, because people have been reporting that it turns itself back on sometimes as well. And I saw it too. So yeah, they basically came out and said they're going to start using Twitch. They're going to start using Twitch. Are going to start using other people's streams and content and chats to train generative AI, unless people opt out of it. So it says, your streams, VODs, clips, stream chats, and pictures and texts on your channel will not be used in future training models developed by Amazon, whose purpose is to generate or synthesize text, audio, images, or video, if you opt out. It doesn't let you opt out of basically entirely everything. So things like auto mod and other bits and pieces will still use it, which again, like, that's the cost of doing business, unfortunately. But I recommend that you go and check out their announcement video of this, because it is awkward. Mike Minton, who is there, I believe, what is he? He's their chief product officer. He's their CPO. Basically gets thrown under the bus here and gives that quote. Mary Kish there is the head of community, I believe, is also on there. Dan Clancy, the CEO, nowhere to be found here, even though he's front and center for every other fucking thing Twitch does. So, yeah. I think it's bullshit. I think everyone should turn it off. I turned it off immediately.
Yeah, there you go.
I turned it off for my personal channel. I turned it off for this channel. Yeah, I think everyone should go and turn that off. I think this is ridiculous that this is opt-in. Oh, sorry, this is not opt-in. Because he's right. No one would opt into this, because AI is just something being shoved down our throats which is crazy because like if it was a good thing, if it was useful,
European law too.
There's that too, right? The opt-in thing, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, good luck with that. But
Anyway,
yeah, just that's just a PSA for people there because I just want to get the word out there. Last couple of stories here. Darksiders 4 and the New Kingdom Come game are apparently planned by the end of March 2028. And Bracer have been talking about trademark registrations and other bits and pieces. Yeah, really excited to see Darksiders 4 because they kind of haven't really said anything about it. But yeah, there's some new financial stuff there. They talked about Metro 2039. Got a million wish lists already.
That's funny. I didn't realize this was in here actually, and I was going to use Darksiders 4 as a premium edition, like.
Oh yeah,
joke,
sure.
I guess. So like, oh, you think Darksiders would hit the same as but anyway,
probably not. I mean, obviously not. Like Darksiders obviously is a very different franchise, but to be fair, like if you put those up, I would be very curious to see what the numbers are in terms of people who buy those games. Do they buy the standard edition or do they buy the premium? But they've got Embracer obviously with their, even despite their previous troubles with the Saudi investment fund, I still have a bunch of games coming up. They've got the new Tomb Raider games, Darksiders 4, New Kingdom Come game, which again I don't think they've had any kind of other announcement for other than the fact that they were just kind of doing it, that and the Middle Earth thing.
I think so.
So yeah, really curious to see how those games go. I mean, I'm glad that they're still happening. But yes, it's going to be their financial year runs April to March. So anytime from April 2027 next year till March 2028, probably towards the end of that, I assume. But yeah, excited to see that we're getting some new games in the next kind of couple of years or so. And then this last story is fucking insane. So there is a game that came out recently, which is called from Saber Interactive, called Rideshare Stimulator. Stimulator being in quotes. Which is a game about you being a rideshare, like an Uber driver, and just kind of having weird conversations with the people you're driving around. It's supposed to, again, it's like a narrative interactive game. One of the Saber riders there claimed that she'd been laid off, actually, because she posted that, oh, hey, I didn't realize this game had come out. And she claimed that she'd been replaced by ChatGPT during its development. And basically the company came back and said, she said that all the passenger voices were all AI and all the lead writing was replaced by ChatGPT or some sort of AI tool. And she posted a screenshot that she wrote on Facebook back in December 2023, saying that making this claim originally, so it didn't just come out of nowhere. Hang on, so I'll see if I can think. So Saber came back with a quote saying, neither Saber nor Unigine, which are Unigine is the developer, have replaced any riders with AI for rideshare or any other game. In fact, Saber staff of riders has tripled since 2023. Rideshare's story was written entirely by real people. The game will feature an experimental free ride mode, that by necessity incorporates AI, as a number of passengers in the game is infinite. We are firm believers in using AI tools to improve and enhance gameplay experiences and improve NPC behavior, as we've done since Saber was founded since 2001. As the industry continues to contract, Saber continues to hire. None of the 3,000 employees have anything to worry about being replaced by AI. So they're not denying that they're using AI. They actually confirmed that they're using AI. But essentially claiming that they were. Yeah, so again, people got a bit weird about that. But so again, pretty corporate statement in terms of okay, yeah, that's what you would say if as a bit. Then there was an update to this yesterday. Saber Interactive denies replacing lead writer with ChatGPT. However, the CEO responds to the accusations, and I'm going to read this verbatim. Hang on, let me grab this.
I said that?
No, hang on. This is okay. Here is okay. So there was a statement made from Karch, Matt Karch, who is basically their, I believe he's their, what is it, their CEO? Yeah, he's the CEO. Here's a literal quote. Stella who? I had to ask Claude because I've never spoken to her or seen her. We have already said that we were using AI for certain parts of the game and we'll update the Steam page once we've finalized the feature set. Let me clarify that the entire story script, were it to win an award, will go to someone who can walk up on stage and receive it. It was always our intention to reveal this later until Stella violated her confidentiality clause and revealed us before we were ready. We look at our use of AI in this particular game, which will be a lower price title, as a plus for consumers. As far as Stella is concerned, she was replaced by someone more talented and terminated for a variety of reasons a few months later. From what I can gather, she enjoys controversy even more than I do, and I would frankly, in retrospect, have been happy to replace her with AI. At least we would be dealing with someone who is programmed to be honest.
Interesting. That is fun.
That's fucking insane. Like, yeah, again, like there's a bit of back and forth here, but like I think that says everything, right? Like that attitude is just unbefucking-lievable.
Well, you need to disclose AI in games on Steam anyway. Like they should have been doing it from the get-go.
Yeah. And
you can't just fucking say, oh, we're going to this game's released, right?
Yeah, it's out. Yeah.
That's not how it works, buddy.
Yeah. And so Stella Sacker responded basically being like, yeah, I've seen the statement, and of all the truly horrendous things he said about me, I think it should be obvious to anyone who reads the statement that he's lashing out because he didn't want people to know that they use AI in the game. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a crazy thing for a CEO of any company to be saying. Like it's a Trump level, just ridiculous, fucking crazy response. Like what are you, bro? What are you doing? Yeah, so
that's great.
It's just absolutely insane. So yeah, clearly they're using AI. I don't. Again, I think Saber is losing all of their goodwill. I mean, I've seen like Saber put out some pretty good games recently, and they've been doing relatively well as a publisher. I mean, obviously Space Marine 2
they have
a fantastic fucking game. But like, fuck me, this does not look good. And I think, I get the feeling we're probably going to be seeing a lot more of this, of games and publishers and developers not, trying to hide the fact that they use AI in this game development. We even saw a thing for, what was it? God, I saw a thing yesterday that was where DC was talking about the making of Supergirl. And in the background, they were talking about how essentially they used AI to do a bunch of image generation stuff for Lobo, one of the characters. And it's like, bro, Lobo is one of the most drawn characters in the DC universe. There's so much art out there that you could use, or and so now they've taken it down because they realized they got caught using AI. It's like, I feel like this is going to happen a lot across the media industry, of like people are going to find out that they're using AI and just get fucking shit on from a great height, quite rightly. Especially if you're trying to hide that stuff,
Yeah.
It's just fucking insane. But that's it for the news. I'll quickly go through the Game Pass updates because there's not much there. August 11th, we had Date Everything come to Game Pass Ultimate. August 13th, we had Cricket 26. And August 20, and on that same day, we had Sandustry come to PC on Game Pass Ultimate. And we don't know what's leaving yet. It's the 15th here when we record this, so hopefully we'll hear about it probably Monday. But really curious to see what's leaving so I can figure out what I'm going to play next. Patreon.com/HaulerGamers. If you want to help support the show, all the money that we get gets reinvested straight back into the show, so we can basically pay for hosting is the main thing. Sorry, my thing is giving me some problems here. 1 second. A huge thank you to Old Mate Clown, Cavalier07, Hack and Pone, Kung Fu Skills, Happy Moogles, Admiral Lawson, Natolinator, Lee Howard, Left for Legacy, Venoms AU, and William Johnson. Like I said, we literally couldn't afford to do the show without you guys, so your support is really, really appreciated. And of course, if there's extra stuff you'd like, you can join the Patreon as a free member. We've had a few free members sign up as well to get access to our backlog of old episodes of things like Lights, Camera, and Action, where we talk about video game movies. And if you're a paying subscriber, you'll get access to all of our extra stuff going forward. Need to catch up on. There's a few video game things we need to catch up on, actually. So we might start organizing that shortly. Biomaster Burden, Keo.
Yes, with July and August, we've had Game Hog Day, which is basically every 2 months, there are monthly themes. We do it every. We've got month. Oh man, I messed that up, didn't I?
You'll get
July
it.
and August.
You've
we
only had 2
have
months, mate. You've got it.
Game Hog Day. Play games that require more than one playthrough to complete. There you go. I'm using my words. Yes. So if you're playing any games at the moment, put it in the Discord under the monthly theme channel, and we can basically have that. Yeah, you don't have to finish the games. You don't have to. You can just be playing the games, and you can post it in there. We've got a completion channel for your completions. So just whatever you're playing that takes more than one playthrough. So, yeah, get it.
Hell yeah. All right. I think we're on to what we've been playing. So, Cameron, let's start with the game
All
from
right.
you first. Just one.
Halo Campaign Evolved.
Never heard of it.
What have you played for the last 2 months, Cameron?
I honestly haven't played much to be. I've played Business Simulator.
Yes, fair. Working Man Simulator. Yep.
Working Man Simulator. Trying to get my Cert 4 fucking signed off simulator. So actually, funny story. Quick side tangent. I was doing a certificate for. My assessor passed away halfway through my course.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, was your work that bad?
Huh?
Was your work that bad that they were like, "Nah, I'm out"?
Just saw your results, and then
They were like, "No, I can't be."
It's like,
I can't live with this guy hanging around. So, anyway, keep going. Rest in peace.
Playing Halo Campaign Evolved with one of Corey's mates, Jason, been running for a Legendary. This game is buggy as hell.
Yeah, it is.
It is really, really... the amount of times that we were playing today and he'd spawn in because he's hosting, and then it would take me like 15 seconds after, and then I'm just dead.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah, I didn't put it in the news, but also one of the original artists for Halo weighed in on how they've done the Forerunner structures and how they've kind of completely missed the point of how that works and what they're supposed to look like and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, the more I played Halo, the less I kind of liked it, to be honest.
Yeah, and it always, like, I don't know if it's something to do with the shading or whatever they're doing, but the whole game just has this film generation thing. It looks like it's murky every step you take. It's just shifting the graphics a little bit.
But yeah, because I think a big problem from when we played it was that you couldn't turn off film grain or chromatic aberration, which is like the first things I turn off in every game that I play.
Yeah, yeah. So there's just filters everywhere. So
they are patching it though to kind of make some improvements and stuff. Apparently, the Sergeant Johnson bug that we ran into happens a lot to a lot of people. Apparently, they patched that as well. Yeah. So hopefully, the game gets a bit better. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the game itself, outside of the bugginess, Cameron, what do you think about it?
Well, I got up to just finishing off the library today.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what's the level after the library?
2 betrayals.
Yeah, sorry, we got most of the way through 2 betrayals, and then we got stuck on a checkpoint glitch, and just ended up calling it there. I'm in 2 minds of it because it's not a bad game, but is something like it's not true like what Halo Combat Evolved felt like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The way I saw it was that everything that was good about it was good about the original Halo, and everything that's bad about it feels like new stuff they've tried to.
That's what I said. Bungie, everything good about it was Bungie. Yeah,
I would say that NPC is still the best way to play it. I would just say if you're looking to play the proper Halo CE, then just go and download Halo's Master Chief Collection and play it in the anniversary setting. At least then you can swap between classic and anniversary and appreciate the amount of change in 20 years or 15 years, I guess, at that point.
Yeah.
I went through and finished that as well. Basically did the no deaths run that you pretty much had to do with that thing. I found it okay because I did that solo. Because when you do it all in co-op, right, you're in a certain mindset. So I kind of was able to appreciate the levels a little bit better. So yeah, but it was.
The one thing I do want to shout out is the library is much better compared to the original.
Yeah, I agree. And
like you can tell the difference with the library, and it feels much more enjoyable to play compared to the original.
I kind of wish they'd done that for the whole game, you know, where they were like, yeah, it's the same levels, but we've redone them completely. It's not just, because, you know, like I could navigate most of those levels blindfolded with how much I played the original and Master Chief Collection version and the 360 version. Like, yeah.
I mean, I haven't got up to them yet, but apparently the new missions are absolute garbage.
Yeah, they're not great. They're not great. They're not there. I mean, they're okay. Like, they're very... I think my biggest issue with those was that it doesn't have... They had no vehicles or anything. Like, they're all just, like, straight corridor. Like, they felt like Halo 2 levels.
Why?
Because
they missed the point.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited to finish it off and then hopefully get Lasso done before the glitch gets patched. And
yeah, no, for sure.
We'll see with that. But yeah, excited to find out if my good pal Dustin Echo survives.
I made that same joke. I made the same joke when we finished, when Stubby and Kia and I finished the first run of it, and they two had no idea what I was talking about. They had no idea. Yeah. I was like, nah, Dustin Echoes. Yeah, because you had to be there for it's like, oh, Dustin Echoes. I'm glad they lived on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what we're joking about, yeah,
Look, I honestly should have looked into that after the first time because I still have no fucking idea what you're talking about. So I'm gonna have to do some Googling after this. Yeah. So
we're at the very end of Combat Evolved when Chief asked Cortana like what's left.
Did anyone survive?
Yeah, and Cortana says Dustin Echoes.
Nothing but dust. No one but Dustin Echoes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
the running joke in the community is, oh yeah, a good pal Dustin Echoes made it out.
Yeah, exactly. They call sign Dust, call sign Echo. You know, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. I clearly spent not nearly enough time on the internet to
be fair, I'm pretty sure, Cameron, you're the one who told me that joke. So that's, So we've come full circle.
I work in social media. What do you expect? I'll quickly finish off the other thing I've been playing.
Yes. Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep.
To be fair, I only started this last week and I got 2 chapters in. I've only done 1 more chapter since. I've just had a busy week. I mean, I haven't played much of it, but this game is gorgeous. And it's gorgeous enough that I have not skipped any cutscenes.
That is impressive. Yeah.
Which takes a lot for me, but I'm like, all right, everything about this game is perfect.
I would. I'm kind of like
Okay, Cameron, did you play the original Final Fantasy VII?
Played bits and pieces. I haven't played.
Okay, cool. There's your answer. That is why this version is perfect. So,
okay,
you're the target audience.
This is true. That is true. And actually, you know, we had the question last week around which Final Fantasy to start with, and we kind of had a bit of a chat around that. And
X.
Yes,
always X.
Well, I said either 10 if you're okay with some of the a little bit older jank, or remake 7 remake if you want something that's a bit more modern, kind of like, you know, with good pacing and kind of more modern quality of life features. So I suggested one of those two. So he's starting with so Red Ninja Dan is starting with remake. He just picked it up because it was on sale.
Yeah. I find like 10 is
you should start with 10 to dress spheres. What can I do for you? Like, no, just start with 10-2.
10-2, then Final Fantasy 13 Part 3, then Final Fantasy 11, and then then you basically need to play Crystal Chronicles on the GameCube.
Then I think I'm very fortunate to say that when I was growing up on this level of gaming, though, I started with 10, and then I moved on to Kingdom Hearts, and then 12.
Yeah,
and I think playing those 3 games gave me the appreciation of being able to still enjoy turn-based, but knowing in my mind that I feel real-time feels better to me.
Sure. And to be fair, you and I had a very similar experience with kind of, I had played a little bit of 7, a little bit of 8 because my friends had those copies of those ones, and like got into PlayStation quite late. But so like Final Fantasy X was the first one that I played from beginning to end. Then Kingdom Hearts, and then and then 12.
Yeah.
So I think I have a similar kind of idea, but I think that Remake is fantastic. I love Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's really, really good. It's not perfect. It drags in some spots. They've kind of, the way they've stretched it, they've stretched what would typically be like a 5-hour section of a game to a like 15 to 20 hour section. And so there's always going to be a little bit of tearing in places where you're like, okay. But I think most of the additions were good. I want to use this as a springboard to talk about Rebirth. So I finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth last night. Took me 2 playthroughs, because you got to do, again, same as Remake, you got to do 1 playthrough on regular, 1 playthrough on hard. And when I started playing it, I was like, this is exactly, like, this is just Remake, this is more Remake, with the extra characters, more story, I'm on board. And it's like, okay, it's slightly more open world, there's a few more things to do, but we're still progressing, And then, again, and I've talked about this for 2 weeks in a row, so I apologize because I'll be repeating myself a little bit here. But now that I've completely done the whole game, it took me about 73 hours or something like that. This game should have taken me 40 hours tops. Because it is, again, another third of this game that is not that long. I mean, 567 is a longish game, right? But the fact they split it up into 3 parts is a little bit insane. And I know they've kind of hamstrung themselves because they kept Remake to just the Midgar part. And if they had then gone, okay, and then we're going to tell the rest of the story in the second part, that second part would need to have been 80 hours of just gameplay content. So what they've done is, sorry, yes?
2 questions. Did you play these back to back? Is my
No,
first one.
not quite. Because I played Rebirth when it came. Sorry, I played Remake when it came to when it came to Xbox, and then I played Rebirth just now. So there's been a few months, but it was this year. I played both of them this year because I think Remake came out
close enough,
relatively close.
And I saw your 79 hour. I saw your 79 hours, and I'm like, to be fair, and I need to say to be fair because Sandra in the chat needs another reference point because you all said that this episode. That most people's experiences are between like 100 and 180 to finish this game completely.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was mainlining it for sure, but also it's still too long. There's too much shit in here.
Yeah.
This game, and I was trying to figure out this game has some serious pacing issues, and some of that is there's good, okay, and bad category for this game. Remake was kind of like, okay, there was good, and then there was okay, and there wasn't really any bad outside of that fucking crunches mini game or whatever you fucking do at the gym, which is a pain in the ass. But that and the branching quest line stuff was kind of annoying too. But I think that Rebirth, I love the story. I love what they've done where, again, I don't want to give any spoilers for Remake, but obviously the thing that happens at the end of Remake makes Rebirth a much more interesting thing because it's less of a strict retelling and it gives them more of a thing to kind of go in different directions. And it leaves a lot of really interesting breadcrumbs. So people who had never played the games before, like Alison was sitting there watching this entire game with me. She had never played the original, so she was like, oh, this is really interesting. What's kind of going on here? And I get to be like DiCaprio being like, oh, okay, this is supposed to happen here, but they've changed it, or they've made this modification to it, or, Sephiroth shows up here and changes this event, or Cloud does something different here. And so you get this thing where it's like you get such a richer experience for knowing the original story and seeing their twist on it. And I was super fucking invested. And so the game goes from, I won't give any spoilers, but I'll give you like where the game ends, but I won't say what happens. But if you know, you know. The game starts with you leaving Midgar at the end of Remake, and it ends with you. It ends with the city at the very end, with one of the Genova fragments and all that kind of stuff. It's the thing about Final Fantasy VII. It ends on that moment. And so that's where that game ends, and then the rest of it is going to be the next part that's coming out in March. I was super invested. I'm like, okay, cool. They've made so many changes. What else are they going to change? How far from the canon are they going to dictate from this thing? Because there's some really important stuff coming up towards the end of the story where you're like, okay, there's some reveals here. There's some like character stuff. There are some characters that show up early, and I was like, oh, is that going to change things? And I was really liking it, and I liked so the story is a big plus. I really like what they've done with it. The combat still really good. They've added some new abilities and new synergy stuff. I like what they've done with the variety. There's now, because you're not just in Midgar all the time. It's not just the slums and the streets and then some mechanical stuff. Ruins. There's like, okay, cool. You've got a desert. You've got Cosmo Canyon. You've got the jungle. You've got like plains, and you've got like the beach. And so there's like a lot of variety in the game, which is really cool. And they've expanded out the sections where it's like, oh, this is a small dungeon that takes you 20 minutes to get through, is usually extended out to maybe like 30 to 40 minutes. So it's like a chapter. So like they've kind of, again, same thing they've done in Remake. And I'm like, I'm okay with most of that. Most of that is quite good. The side quests as well, also quite good. Really happy with those. Again, they're a little bit superfluous, and a lot of them are kind of fetch questy or go kill some enemies and come back and do a thing. But they give good character moments. There's a little bit of walk and talk. You kind of get some good interactions. And each side quest usually has they force a companion on you. So it's like, oh, this one is a side quest with Yuffie. This one's a side quest with Red. So, and there's like the relationship building thing again. And so I like that. It's nice. And if it was just those two things, it would be on the same level of Remake. Because Remake did similar stuff, right? We had the side quests and the character stuff. Then you get the other stuff. So my alarm bell started ringing a little bit when in the very first area, one of the first things they do is get you a chocobo so you can go run this open world quite quickly. And then they say, oh, hey, can you also go over to this tower, activate it, and when you activate the tower, it's going to show you a bunch of little side quest icons on a map. Like it's fucking Assassin's Creed. And I was like, okay, all right. I was like, fine. I was like, all right, I get it. And so the side quests are things like, okay, cool, go and play this mini game where you have to make sure you press the Y button when the circle's in the right thing. And then you need to go and fight some fiends and like stagger them or do like a couple of mini missions for each fight. And then also one of them is, I'll go dig some things up for a bit, like do a little tracking mini game. I was like, man, there's a lot of mini games in this, a lot of mini games. And then I was like, okay, so I did a couple of those. And so I did one for the first area, I did one for the second area, and I got to the third area, and I was like, okay, I'm doing more of these. And then I looked, and I was like, oh no, there is 7 areas that you need to clear out of fucking icons. Like, this game overstays its welcome to a ridiculous fucking degree. Like, none of those content things that you're doing add any benefit to the game in terms of story. There's no story around them except for some like codex logs. Like, you don't get a lot of great rewards from them either. You level up a little bit, but it's just playing again. But there's also no variety. Like those 5 activities that I kind of mentioned are the same 5 for all 7 areas. There's one unique quest per area that does kind of like a more interesting story thing that leads you to like the super boss of the area. If they had just done that and the side quests, this would be a 10 out of 10 game. But everything they layer onto this game is bloat. There is so much bloat. There are more mini games in this than there are in a Yakuza game. It's insane. Like, it is like playing like Yakuza 7. And which is also a turn-based RPG now. Like, one of the last achievement to get in this game is there's a hotel that you can go to that has trophies of all the things that you've done in the game. There's 88 trophies to get. Those trophies are basically all from getting the high score, beating the high score in a mini game. So, and again, it's not 88 mini games. There are like variations where it's like, okay, you got to get a high score on this version of the mini game and then the expert level of it. So it's probably closer to like 40 mini games. But that's too many fucking mini games for a game of this length, you know? Like, it's crazy how much time we spent. It's like, okay, cool, I got to do a shooting gallery. I got to do a thing where I do got to basically play Teamfight Tactics, where I have to fucking drop little robots on a thing. I have to play the Fort Condor mini game all over again. I have to do, there's a Fall Guys spinning thing that you got to jump over while the platform's, the fucking, I can't remember what the game's called, but the spinny thing with the thing that hits you off. And then you have to play it again with the rolling thing, where you got to make sure you're on the rolling platform to make sure you don't get rolled off. There's so many mini games that just kill the pacing completely. Because you get to a new area and you're like, all right, well, I guess I got to go around to all these things, do all of these little fucking not even side quests, just kind of busy work quests. And then I got to do a bunch of things. I got to play a fucking piano. I have to do a rhythm game. I have to. When I played through the game on hard and did my second playthrough of it, and I just skipped all the side stuff, I had a much better time of just kind of going story beat to story beat to story beat to story beat. Everything else in between just bogs down the experience. And I feel like it's this very Square Enix Japanese thing where they're like, well, if people are going to buy this game, we just have to load it full of content. No, you don't. You're telling a 3-part story. Like, you didn't have to add all this extra shit. We were fine with it for remake. You could have just left it for rebirth.
I'd like to think that they got it out of their system, and then the third part is going to just be hardcore as shit.
Well, I think that's the thing, is that a lot of people complained about this because, like, Chadley from the first game, he's again one of the new characters. He's the one who's getting you to do all the side quests, all the side basic junk bullshit, and so he keeps coming up and being like, "Oh, hey, go and do this thing, And so apparently people complained about it so much that they're going to scale it back for the next game. But we'll see. We'll see, because the next game is also very open world because of, what happens. But yeah, Sandy in the chat says, I'm pretty sure it was Final Fantasy VII Remake, but you had to do the 100 pull-ups, no mistakes.
Yeah. Go back to Final Fantasy IX and look at the skip rope achievement.
Yeah, exactly, right. But imagine having to do that 40 times. So, yeah. So, this is the kind of thing where I was like, when I started this game, I was blown away. Looks great, plays amazing, love the characters, love the story, love the changes. Like, I was super, super invested. But every time I got to a new area, it just eventually, like, because I was doing them all, I was just like, okay, I'll rinse this area. When I got to the last 3 areas, I was like, no, fuck it. I'm just going to mainline the story. I can't be blocking the progress anymore and I went back and did all the stuff later and just fucking hated it. But it was the right move.
Yeah. No, I get it, because there's a reason why I haven't done the Final Fantasy IX either, because I'm still at that skip rope section.
Yeah.
At the start of the game, I'm like, I gotta get this. So, yeah.
Okay, so again, this will be the last time I talk about it because I finished it now, and and again, there's so much to like here, and most of the mini games were fine, in terms of, like, they weren't overly difficult, they were a little bit annoying, but like Queen's Blood, the card game, I enjoyed quite a lot. There was like a little like space shooter, like Star Fox thing that was kind of fun. There was like you got to do like the bike racing part again as well, and most of the stuff was fine, but it's just like the level. I'm okay with a little bit, but it's just it was more mini game than actual game, and that's where I draw the line. It's a fucking, like, it was somewhere between Mario Party and Yakuza, and I'm just like, that's not what I come to Final Fantasy for. But anyway, that's my rant over. Cameron, you've got all your games to talk about. Kia, what have you got on your list?
Well, I'm currently going through and trying to polish off Space Marine 2, which is why I brought it up earlier on. And you said it's a fantastic game, and it really is. But there's such a weird thing with the Warhammer games where I have no connection to the lore at all.
I'm with you.
But and everything you look at with the lore, it's just kind of like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. But you could just talk to somebody about it, and they'll rattle on cohesively about how everything links, and it's just nutty. But you just have to play those games and just shut off, because they're good games. So as video games, they're probably some of the best video games that we probably had.
It is the perfect franchise to video game translation, right? We're like, oh, these factions are fighting all the time and they're cool as shit. Fuck yeah, I'll play that.
And they're just ripping the enemies to shreds and just doing all this actual video game stuff that we want, that you don't barely get in any of these other games. So they're so video gamey that it's just fun and it's just enjoyable to play. So I'm kind of like, it's nice going back. I have to do a few more things in operations, but yesterday I sat down and basically I was just on my ROG, and it was really easy to play on the ROG, because it's just one of those third-person games that the controls just suited it so well. So I got most of the operations stuff done, except I need to level up my characters, finish that off, and then I'll burn through the story, and that'll be good as well. So, but yeah, you get stuck with these games with the repetitive stuff, the online. There's always people playing. You can just jump in and play with people because it's such a big community of gamers. So yeah, but yeah, that's good so far. So I'll continue on with that and probably report back with the completion next week. So
I have one other thing to talk about that I've been playing a little bit of.
Yeah.
I also been playing a bit of Bulletstorm as my backlog game, but I'm not far enough into it, so I'll push that out a bit longer. But the thing that I started was Beast of Reincarnation. So I recently got added to Game Pass. This is Game Freak, the Pokemon developers' latest game. It is essentially, if I was going to summarize it, it is Sekiro meets Nier Automata.
Yeah.
But it is kind of the worst version of both of them, unfortunately, at this point. So the idea is that you are there was a great calamity that happened 2,000 years ago. It's now 4,000 AD. And all of the humans uploaded their consciousness into golems, into robots, but now those are kind of breaking down and kind of going crazy. And there's also this, basically whatever calamity that happened, again, they don't kind of elaborate on it, but there is these creatures called the Nanaki who are kind of like monstrous beasts, plant beast things. So they're like beasts that have like some sort of plague or some sort of things growing out of them in terms of like plants. So like some sort of evolution thing. And so there's a thing called the Beast of Reincarnation that comes back every 100 years that needs to be killed by someone who is essentially a human, still flesh and blood human who has been infected by that same thing that the animals have. And it gives the humans extra powers, but it also makes them like pariahs and people are scared of them. And so you are one of those characters. Your ability is that you have the ability to absorb strains of this virus or whatever it is from these creatures after you kill them. So you're basically sent out to be like, okay, hey, the beast is coming back. It's been 100 years. We're going to get you a little walker thing with a couple of people. You're going to go off and kill as many of these large creatures, the large Nanaki creatures, as you can, gain their abilities to become strong enough to destroy the Beast of Reincarnation for the next 100 years. And I'm sure the plot goes on from there, and I'm sure it's not nearly as simple as that. We've already seen other people who have abilities. You have like a wolf companion who is also infected with the same thing that connects with you for some reason. There's all kinds of mystery stuff going on. It's very, they talk about Shambhala and like all this kind of like, mystical stuff. So again, the story is kind of like quite obtuse, but the gameplay boils down to very Sekiro style parry mechanics. You have a katana, you have one type of attack, normal attack. You can combo that into special abilities. You have like a meter, like it works as kind of like a stamina meter, but you can burn the stamina meter to use special abilities. You also have ranged attacks. You can sneak around and do stealth attacks. It's kind of like a bit of a grab bag of just kind of like I won't say baby's first Sekiro, but like a very simplified Sekiro style, but with extra things bolted onto it. Because you've got your wolf companion who can help you do attacks and do like healing abilities and things like that. And there's also like a whole cooking system where you get like permanent stat buffs. There's a whole like personal, like you build up rapport with your teammates. You're very much like, oh, hey, I'm a blank slate human being who has no emotions. And it's a very much like, it's the like Nier Automata, what does it mean to be human? Do robots have feelings? What does it mean to, should we continue to exist? It's all the existential questions that I feel like have been asked a million times before, and this is just
that would have been those same questions asked by Red 13 in Final Fantasy, which is the other game you played this week.
Exactly right. There's a lot. There's a lot of this stuff where it's again like Nier Automata. It's very much like it has that same kind of music style. It's a post-apocalypse. A lot of like you're going through like broken down shopping malls and all kinds of stuff. I'm only on like the third or fourth chapter. I'm on the third chapter, and I'm like 8 hours into it, and it's okay. It is like very like 5 or 6 out of 10 kind of game. Like the gameplay is okay. It's not super satisfying. Like the parry mechanics are okay when you're fighting other people with weapons, but when you're fighting beasts, like parrying their attacks doesn't really make sense, and the timing's a bit weird. The special ability stuff is kind of not great in terms of like you need to do a combo, and your combos are like bumper, 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 and then like an X attack, and then like another X attack, but they don't usually stun. So like the feedback for the combat is kind of not great. Like it's fine. Like I've only died like once, but it just doesn't feel super satisfying. I love the art style. Like it's got a very like Princess Mononoke kind of style to it, with like, you know, the greens and the whites and this kind of like nature stuff taking over. It's like very like beautiful in style, but in terms of like fidelity, it's quite muddy. Like the actual like the draw distance is kind of not great. It's also very buggy. I've had a lot of crashes. Like I've crashed 3 or 4 times already. And so like it's I think it's an interesting idea, but it feels like the execution. I made a joke to Allison because obviously this is made by the PlayStation, sorry, the Pokemon people.
Yeah,
it made by Game Freak, and I was like, well, it's like I think this just proves that it's not the Pokemon's company's fault that they don't know how to make a working game. It's Game Freak all the way through. Everything Game Freak touches, they just can't. They just cannot. For a company that has so much talent and money and all this stuff from how popular Pokemon is, you'd think that they would nail down this shit, and this would be at least an 8 out of 10 experience, you know, in terms of like how good it looks and how it plays and all this stuff. They have so much potential, but they just squander all of it. I'm also like the story stuff, I think, is the other bit where I'm like, I want to kind of be invested in this, but the performances are kind of not great. It has that very stilted, like very Japanese thing where someone says something, there's a pause, they cut to the other person, there's another pause, and then that person responds, and then it cuts back to you, and then you respond, and it's like, okay, like it feels so wooden. And I've put the language on Japanese, so maybe, you know, apparently the English dub is also not amazing. It's just kind of very awkward. It's less noticeable in Japanese, but it still has those very awkward pauses, and it just feels like clearly people were not in the room together. This is no like Expedition 33 where people are talking over each other and dynamically kind of communicating. And yeah, it's pretty disappointing, to be honest. I've still got a lot to do. This will go on the theme month because you got to do a New Game Plus playthrough. And there's a whole skill tree and abilities and stuff that I've kind of touched on a little bit, but I still need to get deeper into. So again, I'm only on the 3rd chapter, a few hours in, but I'll report back next week, hopefully having completed it.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Kirby's also playing it, so I'll be curious to get his thoughts as well. It was one of those things where I wasn't sure I was going to play it straight away, but it looks like a reasonably straightforward completion.
Well, is that everything that you were playing, was it? Just kind of
yeah, pretty much. Sandy just asked, is the difficulty level like Sekiro? No, not at all. I think that it actually has difficulty levels, so you can put it on story difficulty and it's pretty straightforward. It doesn't super help with like timings of parries, but like the healing system is pretty forgiving, so I think you'd be totally fine if you just wanted to. Yeah, it definitely. I haven't broken a controller like I did with Sekiro, so to give you some context. Kia, so what were you playing?
Well, I mean, I'll start with just the completions that I've kind of did. I, for the first time, went through the final stuff, Vampire Survivors, got that finished, knocked off. So that was just kind of like unlock, you know.
How does it compare with Marine Survivors?
Well, you know, well, there's definitely a lot more quality here, right? So, I mean, yeah. So all the spelling's correct or intentionally bad. But yeah, outside of that, it's like, it's still fun. It was really the only thing stopping me from completing the game was that I'd forgotten I hadn't downloaded one of the DLC packs. So I'm like, where is this content? Every time I loaded the game up, and I just had to go through the Microsoft Store to get it, right? But yeah, so that's fine. There's not really much to say, but it's good to have that done after a couple of years of having that downloaded. Firewatch is also the next one I did. I burned through that in a night.
Pun intended.
And it was really, yeah, pun intended. And it was interesting though. Like, it's kind of like really straightforward. You could just go in, kind of the extra achievements are easy. You kind of do them along the way, and you could just enjoy the story. So, which is kind of nice because I just need like to shut myself down and just enjoy something. So I'm glad there wasn't anything I had to do that was kind of outside that I had to think about really. So it was nice. So yeah, yeah. But other than that, I've just been the other thing I've been working on is Clover Pit. That's kind of like the next one after Vampire Survivors to go back to. So slowly working my way backwards to maybe get back to Balatro after these games, right?
Yeah.
So, but I finally ascended in Clover Pit, which is like the best ending you could say, even though it doesn't have an ending. Where it's interesting because you have to do a few steps to kind of get there, and it's like, so all you're doing is a slot machine, and you've got a thing called after the second run in going to the third run, you've got 666 appears to randomly as you have that going through it. But the goal is that when after every round after that, you get a phone call from a random, you don't know who they are or whatever, but they give you 3 choices to start off with. Some of them will be in orange text, and then others will be in red text. They're always either orange or a different round with red, but it's random if it'll just give you one or the other. And eventually, you need to choose to not get any of you just don't pick anything when the red stuff comes up, and then there'll be like a little floppy disk that appears on the slot machine on the side, and it'll have 666 on it. And if you don't pick the red ones, you only pick the orange buffs, it slashes one of them. And so when they're all 3 are crossed out, you get 666 in that round, and then you can have it basically turn into like a white phone. And the white phone is like hand of God kind of stuff. It's like it flips itself, so the 666s are no longer 666, it's 999. And it turns you from, whenever you get 666, it's always deducting all of the money or some of the money from what you've earned for that round. But it reverses it, and you end up with 999, and it's just giving you money basically. So you can kind of add that to your total to make it a little bit further. But the goal there is to basically have the key that you need to unlock the door is like a white key. It turns into a white key when you get that God Hand phone, and then you can unlock the door, and then you get the best ending, and then that's an achievement. So so now it's just cleanup. So it's like get all the charms, and you have modifiers for each of the symbols, like get like like tickets or extra, percentage amount increases on some of the things on the slot machine, and you've got to do that like 1,000 for each of them. So you've got to have modifiers on those pieces in the slot machine as they rotate through to unlock some of the charms. So I'm basically just down to doing that. So but yeah, so yeah, it's just a matter of playing the game now. So which is good.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, I looked at Clover Pit, but it looked a little too investing for me. I think Vampire Survivors and Ball X Pit are about as far as I wanted to put my time into those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Add more achievements to Bull X Pit.
Yeah, no, hopefully not. All right. Is that everything, Kyo?
Yeah, that's everything, I reckon.
Cool.
Anything worth talking about. So
we've also got the word challenge, everyone's favorite competition, where Kirby comes up with a game and gives very esoteric clues away each week. And if you guess it right, you win like $30 jackpotting up as the clues increase. From like clue 4 onwards, I believe it increases. So you get the first 3 clues. I managed to finally get it. I got thankfully do some other really good guesses that clued me onto some ideas that I hadn't been thinking about. So the first clue was early offerings from this boxing division. Second clue was bloody Huey Lewis going around telling me about shapes. And the third clue was Way of the Warrior, which was a dead giveaway, but the game was Bushido Blade. So Way of the Warrior, Bushido, that's what that means. The Huey Lewis clue is the fact that he has a song called Hip to Be Square. Square Enix are the publishers of the game. And the boxing division is the developers are called a Lightweight. I think the Lightweight something or other.
Yeah.
And so thankfully the one that was really tripping me up was the hip to be square one, because I did not catch that. I was thinking the square shape but not square publisher. So people started guessing Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy.
Me too.
And I was like, okay. And then obviously Way of the Warrior, that kind of figured it was something to do with blades and samurai, and so that kind of narrowed it down to a few
Are you
games.
saying there's logic to his
Yes, the clues actually made a sort of sense. So I will not be guessing on this next one, because I don't want to guess. I don't want to have chance even winning 2 in a row. So I'm going to take a couple of weeks off for this one. But we do have a new one. We don't know what it is, but the new clue is these damn kids don't want to work and just spend all day on their phones. And that's all you're getting for week 1. The bot is also updated, so we'll post that. If someone can post that on the clues, that'd be great. So get your guesses in. You get 1 guess per hour. And like I said, if you win money. So get onto it. All right. Leaderboards. Cameron, do you want to go through those?
Yep. They are. So in third place, we have Northern Lass with 33,511. Second place, we have Fresh Forever with 38,600. First place for the week, we have a Grey Shark on 98,715.
Unbelievable.
Why?
I just don't understand how they have that much time. Completions, Kier, that's all you.
Yeah, so we have Splice finishing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Shadowed Sly finishing Doom 2016, Ickle Ronikins finishing Forza Horizon 6, Just Jake finishing Halo and Infamous on the PlayStation, Moonzom finished Final Fantasy IV, Professor Pluto finished Doom TDA. Is that
the Dark Ages?
Oh, just the Dark Ages, not the expansion.
I think he just did the expansion. I think, but he posted the whole thing. So I'm sure he finished the base game already.
Yeah, Shane / Firehawk D did Atlas Fallen. Miss Sandals 91 did The Mound Omen of Cthulhu, which we might have to put on our list now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And that was on PlayStation, by the way. So those PlayStation shoutouts. And Chin Doctor did Shard Squad. So
nice work. Some good completions. And that's pretty much going to bring us to the end of the show. As always, we do the show live on Twitch. Xbox Hall of Games is the place to find us. Come say hi, hang out, usual business. Thank you, Admiral Awesome, for subscribing once again, 40 months. That is absolutely crazy. Love the support. We also have our Discord. Join our Discord. It's the best place to hang out with us and our community. So we do the word challenge. It's where we post our completions. We talk about movies and stuff. There's all kinds of chat going on. There's a whole thing about Magic the Gathering and collecting expensive cardboard. There's places where you post things you pay too much money for. It's got everything.
Yeah, that cardboard is getting a lot of attention. So I'm sure there's some of you other guys out there.
There's a lot of big fucking nerds. I saw a great video of someone doing an unboxing, like a card pack opening, but it was business cards from people who had been arrested. It was very funny.
Nice.
Really funny.
That was great.
Yeah, anything you guys want to shell out? Anything for you, Cameron?
I'm going to Japan in like 3 weeks.
Nice. All right. I will send you a list of things I want you to pick up for me then.
Yep. Resident Evil. I've got a list of Resident Evil 7,
I'd like you to bring back the
Japan,
Capcom.
Resident Evil 8, Japan, Liquor Backpack.
Yeah.
I looked at the Liquor Backpacks. I don't think they release when I'm over in Japan. Because I wanted to get one. I'm really fucking butthurt at that.
I need you to pick me up an original Famicom. What else is there? Yeah.
Japanese Xbox 360.
You think Nikita's not going to get to it first?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, that's true. Two Famicoms then.
Because apparently I'm picking up a whole bunch of vintage Coach bags when I go to Tokyo and bringing them back to somebody.
All right. So that's
gonna be interesting.
So you're literally going to be a Coach mule. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Kia, what about you?
And you can find me, Keo, live at home everywhere, Xbox, PlayStation. And you can also find me at How to Fix Gaming on YouTube.
Wonderful. And I'm Neomaster on everything, True Achievements, Xbox, and Discord. A huge thank you to my wonderful co-hosts, especially Cameron for coming back and Keo for sticking with us. But but also to Shane and Jake, who will hopefully be on next week, and Char, who couldn't make it, but will hopefully be back shortly. And also our Patreons for making the show possible, our watchers and listeners. If you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, please do. If you're an audio listener, feel free to look at our beautiful faces, and you can see those VODs in there, and check out the wonderful thumbnail that Char does each week. But that's going to wrap up episode 225. We will catch you guys next week. See you later.
Peace.
Bye, everyone.